It's very I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting because, like, when I was talking to them, I just kind of realized this, which is that, you know, it's. I think my personality is very flexible. Like depending on how you know me or who you know me from or who I'm talking to. Like, some people would seem to be like, oh man, yeah, that's a dude, bro. Like, there's a couple people in parking where I talk to them, they're like, oh, Esteban, yeah, that's a cool guy. Then other people would talk to me like, oh, Esteban, yeah, he's a complete anime nerd. If that couple talk to me like, oh yeah, he's a complete corgi lover. Like, he's just like, and based on who I talk to, you might be like, oh, he's very introverted. Oh, he's very talkative. So I don't know, just while I was talking to them, I was like, wow. Like, it's weird I could go from like dude, like a dudester, a duderoni, to like a complete like, hey. Too funny, man. Also, again, I'm just recapping my work because I know I look forward to it. So when I originally got there, they dropped me off at a position where you're just by yourself. So I was by myself for maybe 30, 45 minutes, just about. Maybe 30, maybe closer to 30. And something about just being by myself at night and just looking and just being, I don't know, just something about that made me very like introspective. And not in like a philosophical way, but just like I was thinking about all my happiest moments in parking. All the times where I'm like, I am so fortunate that I get to work here. All the random jokes that happen, all the random things that happen, all the funny characters in parking that happen. I like, when I say that, like, I very much, like, I want to say more, but I also don't want to use people's names. So, like, you know, like, to a certain extent, like, I'm a bit holding back just because I know it's like a privacy thing for some people. And not that it matters particularly, but, you know, it's like, I think it's a good thing to hold back. You know, like, I don't care, like, this is my name tag right here. Like, my name is Esteban. Like, I don't care, but I know I don't want to tell stories that, you know, somebody might not want out there. But no, I was thinking about, I was just got there at like 7:45. I remember like first 30 minutes I was by myself. I was just thinking about all the funnest times I've had in parking. I remember the main New Year's Eve that I ever remember is that one, where it was me and a couple of the cast members. Those were my favorite people that night. I remember that like it's yesterday, and I don't remember any New Year's Eve, but that one, I remember when it happened, I legitimately had like a tear in my eye, because I was like I was just so like, I hope I remember this, and I did. And so I don't know, I hope I did. And I was just thinking about other times out with other cast members and different memories and you know, different people I've talked to, and you know, I was guess I was just being like very sad and happy, because it's the kind of thing I was thinking about, which is that, you know, people in your life, you know, they come in your life and they leave your life. You know, like, to give an example, like people I work with, you know, I will work with the same person for weeks on end. Hours on end, I'll talk to that person. Then they'll like trade and get trained somewhere else. And I won't see that person for like another 6 months. And then I meet somebody new I really like, and then they transfer inside the park, or they just don't get hours like I do. And it was only temporary. And it's one of those things where as I was thinking about all the good memories and happy times and like funny things that have happened in my experience in parking, I was just looking at that, and I was looking at all the memories I've had with different people, and I kind of felt sad and happy because some of those people, some of those people I rarely see. I know one person that I really like. I'm never gonna see that person for a very long time. And I was thinking about my good memories I've had, and I got a little sad. But there's a degree of happiness that comes from there, which is that although you're gonna feel sadness that this person's leaving, and you're gonna feel happiness when you think about all the good times you have with this person. There's a beauty in that, because it makes you appreciate life that much more and the people in it. And you shouldn't believe that just because something's not forever, like, you should embrace the fact that things are not forever. Because I know that people I hung out with tonight, I might not ever see them again. So next time I hang out with somebody, I'm going to be able to appreciate them that much more, and hopefully be present enough in the moment where I can recognize that this is the good times. The good times aren't, like back when I was in high school or back when I was this and that. Like, the good times are right now. I think that through realizing that it's all temporary, and that people are going to come in your life, come out your life, come in your life, come out your life. There's a beauty in that. I think it's very good to just recognize that, because I don't know, when I was at I went to New York City, I met people for 10 weeks. I'm like, this person is awesome. I actively tried to stay connected to people that I talked to. But when I left, I felt like I never knew those people ever again. And different people deal with that better. But I guess I'm a bit sentimental. I'm a bit sentimental. And I know when I graduate, in like 2.5 years from Cal State Fullerton, it's going to be tough for me to actually like leave parking. Just because I made a lot of connections with these people, and I would just be very sad to just say I'm never gonna see this person ever again, and that's a decision I'm making. So I don't know, I was thinking about all that, and I think it's important. I think it's important to listen to yourself. I was feeling sad, so I experienced it. I ended up feeling happy and grateful. It's like I don't know if you guys have ever seen Inside Out, but Inside Out, they had like the premise of that movie, like your emotions like take control of you. And for me, I try to, believe it or not, here's the thing, right? I try to have my emotions like similar to that, where I embrace myself. It sounds so weird, but I embrace the emotions I experience. Because people talk about, like, let's say anxiety, right? Like, oh my God, I'm feeling anxiety. Here's the thing. Anxiety isn't a bad thing. Here's the thing. Anxiety isn't a bad thing. I am rhyming like my name is. Anyway, but no, anxiety isn't a bad thing. Like, just to give you a quick example, right? let's say you got dropped in the middle of a forest at night, and you hear like a rustling in a bush, right? That and you start feeling anxiety. Is your anxiety good or bad? I would argue your anxiety is very good, because that could be warning you, like, hey, that might be a bear, could be a cockroach, could be like a snake or something, but it could also be a bear. So your anxiety spikes and you're like paranoid. But the thing is, your anxiety is there to help you. I think your emotions are there to help you. Sometimes, you need to do enough self-reflection where you can understand where your emotions come from and your premise and whatnot. But, stuff like anxiety, I feel like ultimately that's there to help you. Like, now there's some times where it's like there's no bear, but your anxiety still kicks in because you haven't done enough self-reflection to understand why your anxiety kicked in and to feel like if it's valid or not. Valid is a strong word. I wouldn't necessarily use that, but because sometimes your emotions aren't always logical. So it's like, is your anxiety quote unquote valid? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it goes back to when you were a kid and certain situations happened, so then your anxiety kicked up, and that you're no longer a kid, but your anxiety still kicks up because your emotions are still like you are when you were a child, and that stays the same only if you don't actively think about it. So emotionally, that's kind of how I experience it, which is that like I don't make myself not feel a certain way. And when I was at parking, I was just feeling sad, so I just was sad, and then afterwards I felt happy and grateful, and I borderline was I don't cry